So, this is my on behalf of the camera mic, I'll take it from here. This is my 1986 Mazda RX-7. I bought it for about $500 this summer, and it was originally a parts car for my brother's RX-7. It had nothing. No engine, no transmission, no interior, almost stripped completely bare with most of the interior just piled up inside of it. Luckily for me though, the wiring was still intact and it wasn't rusty. Of course, as you saw me pushing in the intro, it's still not running, like half the FCs in the country. But I fell in love with it regardless, not because I saw it on TikTok, YouTube, or whatever, but because I fell in love with the design, the rotary engine, the feeling on the car when you sit in it. On rotary engines, I believe they are highly misunderstood and they get a bad juju because people just don't know how to work or maintain on them. They require a little more love and care than your typical engine, which is why people just LS swap them. Speaking of LS swaps, I know somebody who is.
Hey, my name is Tim. This is my RX-7 FC. It's a 1986 year model. This is the GXL. It's not the Turbo 2 model, the high-end model. So what we got going on here, got this from Oklahoma, long story short, U-Haul, good trip. To about, I'd say, a total of 3 days to get it back. Trailer it over here. And it looks like a heap of scrap right now, but honestly, it's in the works. Right now, what we're working on is the rear subframe. The rear subframe, working on the rear subframe, refreshing it. About to upgrade the sway bars, front and rear sway bars. We're going to upgrade the brake disc and also exchange some rear subframe parts, especially the control arms down here. One of them is bent, so we're going to do a 8x8 373 IRS differential swap. It's in the works, so you gotta order Ronin kit, Speedworks kit for that, the rear end for this, for the subframe. Does have a roll cage, already came with it. The previous owner did do a lot of work on this. He got the aftermarket dashboard, which is carbon fiber, very light, very agile, very race-like. I got some Sprint Spark car seats, some cheap, harness, and yeah, it's not fully caged, it's half caged. But moving to the front, right here I got some wide body fenders in the front. These are, I want to say, 45 millimeters in the front. I got a carbon fiber hood, aftermarket hood, fits perfectly, and the headlights got carbon fiber covers on them. The inside right now does not have an engine, but the engine that I put it in is a 4.8, and it's going to be, right now it's getting rebuilt, it's getting refreshed. It's got some low compression pistons, it's got some aftermarket cams, aftermarket trimmings, and the headers have been polished and ported, upgraded oil pump. So the engine that's going in this is going to have some serious work done to it. I would say mild work, but it can be forced induction. That is a plan for stage 2, is turboing the LS motor and putting it in here. Simple 4.8 block, just very simple 4.8 block. As far as that, we got big old 18 by 10 in the rears. That's what I'm running, and then I got a 17 by 8 in the front. So it's a good staggered setup, mainly just for holding this power to the ground. The first initial power is going to be around 400, but since the car is lightened, it doesn't really have any interior in it. It is basically going to be a hell of a ride.
Before we continue on with this video, I want to show you, or at least share with you, one of the most unique RX-7s I have ever seen, as well as one of the only running ones in Arkansas at the moment. Why is it unique? Well, the owner here, Eric, during his presentation of his vehicle, will show you why.
Oh, what's good? My name's Eric. This is my 1986 RX-7. It has a 13B NA bridge-ported carb swap motor in it. Not much done besides the bridge port and the carb swap. Coil wrap, radiator, all that type of stuff. Cool stuff. Right now the car doesn't have much done to it power-wise with that carb. Planning on going to fuel injection, going to turbo it, all that cool stuff. When it comes to interior-wise, pretty normal. Stock interior, upgrade seats, all that type of stuff, gauges. Running on some XXRs, stock coilovers, 2/3 of a body kit, but I'll begin the rear bumper. Exhaust is a HKS catback with racing beat headers and pre-silencer, all that cool stuff. But that's pretty much it with this car. Nothing too special. It gets the job done. Fun to drive. Loud as well. But, yeah.
Yep. So, explain yourself. Identify yourself. Tell me about you.
I'm Hayden. I'm 26. Cars, man. Just whole life revolved around cars since I can remember. Grew up around like jet boat racing and drag racing, and kind of the black sheep of the family. Got into like imports, tuners, stuff like that, and then yeah, man, just kind of went from there. Like my first car was a 1998 Acura Integra, full built V18 with a C1 head to like a GSR head, and then after that, I was like 15 when I built that car. Worked like all summer to like buy it and build it, and then I had it for like a year, and I sold it, and then I got into 240s and haven't looked back. So got into drifting.
So let me ask you this then. I know you're in the drifting, 240s, S chassis, but what about the slam cars?
Yeah, so slam cars have always, like, it's always been there since like I had my Integra. Like the Integra was so low, it was dragging through the floor. Like I changed an oil pan on it once a week. It was that low. Like I kept a spare pan every Sunday. It was like a ritual. Jack it on with jack stands, drop the pan, put the new pan on, take the old pan, go get it welded up, and then cycle and repeat. No rhyme or reason, just it looks sick as fuck. Like it's baller. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you're destroying the car, like, you know, like whatever, like you can't drive it, but like, I mean, when you think about it, like, have you ever seen someone in a slammed-ass car like crying about it? Like we know what we're doing, like you're driving and it's just like dragging, you're like, this is the funnest I've ever had in my life. You're like I don't know, this is sick as fuck. Like, or like the best thing would be like it's static, so you don't have like airbags, and they're like, yo, like does it raise up and down? And you're like, nah, dog, like, it stays like this. And it's just kind of like a flex. And then like recently, like I've gotten into bag cars because I'm actually able to drive the bag cars slower than the static cars, and then I just don't air up. Like I have figured out a way to, like, when the car's fully aired up, it's lower than my static cars, and it's at like 100 psi in the bags. So I completely ruined the entire reason bags were made. To go lower. And then like my Lexus, for example, it's like that. And I drove it 9 hours all the way to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Drove it for a whole week there, and then drove it home like that. Yeah. So it's just a lifestyle, man. It's not for everybody, for sure, but
yeah, wow, you convincing me.
It's fun as fuck. Like you gotta like you have to obviously be in the mindset of it's gonna break, but like
might as well.
So when you incorporate like that style of like, you know, like it's gonna be like dumped and like really good fitment and like it's basically like a fucking rolling car show, right? And then you incorporate that with drifting, like back to the roots of like Japanese drifting, not D1, not Formula Drift here in America, but like where style was everything. I think that's like the true art form of like drifting for me. Like you look at like Final Bout here in America, or knuckle up events, like those grassroots events, or like some of the grassroots events coming out of like Mid Pond. Like those guys are like, or even Drift Appalachia now. Like they're like no rep wheels, no rep body kit. You have to be low as fuck. Like you have to have style. You know what I mean? Like, and that's like the only way you can come to their events. Like you get invited because your car's style. And like I think a lot of people lost that. Like yeah, like the car doesn't drive as good as like a set up 1,000 horsepower, 16-foot wheel gap fucking car. But f*** that. I would much rather watch cool looking drift cars suck at drifting versus watching ugly ass drift cars be good. Because it's not as exciting. Like, you roll up and you're like, damn, like that dude's rolling with some like 18x12 VSKFs with Lambo doors and like huge body kit that's an actual BN sports kit that costs $3K. You're like, damn, that dude's fucking hard. And then he wrecks the whole car and then he's back out there the next week. F*** it. This shit's like, it's all about style and commitment, man. And like that's where I'm at. It's like this car. It's full like G1 kit, OE pig nose with the OE pig nose lip, and then actual Nismo LMGT2s. Like these aren't replicas. These are like $5,000 wheels. And like, dude, I'll go chuck this thing into a wall right now. I don't give a fuck. And I'll just fix it because like it's gonna look sick until it goes into the wall. So yeah, and I'm not doing it for no one else. It's for me because it looks cool for me. So like that's like the biggest thing with like people getting in the car scene now, and like with like the internet and TikTok and shit like that. Like the takeover scene is they want clout. They're worried about what everyone else thinks.
The horsepower race.
Yeah, it's all a measuring contest. I think if people start just like building cars for them, it'd be a lot more genuine out there. They're just too worried about what the next person has and what they can do. Like, I want to make sure the internet likes me. I want to be blown up. I want to do YouTube. Like, that's cool, bro. But like, I think if you're just fully original, that just comes second nature. But like, if you're not a tryhard.
Lots. We need to do that.
You know what? I could fire that up.
Just tearing down the head. I already took out the springs, keepers, retainers, as well as the two camshafts here. And right now I'm just basically just taking out the seals, the valve stem seals, and getting them ready for a wash. After that is all machine work.
Load of new block. Tim? They're brothers. Screwing the stones and zeroed them out, and then I measured and told it how many thousandths to take out. So, and now it will just go from hole to hole until it's finished with that much.
I'm Trey Cash. This is the build area. This is where we build them from being built in the clean room up to products and out the door. We build them in there and bring them out here, put the clutch, bell housing, all the water pump, radiators, put them on the frame, and we get them all plumbed up, wired up, and then we'll send them outside and we'll run them just like a day-to-day engine. And set the timing, set the carburetor, do our check, and we're out the door.